Hi everyone. So today I wanted to talk to you about runes, a little bit about runes, and also using bind runes. Bind runes can be used, you can add them to little charms, you can add them to candles you're burning, and they have different meanings depending on what symbols you use. But first of all, I'll talk about runes. Now obviously runes are split into the Elder Futhark and the Younger Futhark. There's also the Anglo-Saxon Futhark, but I'm not going to go into all that today. So the Elder Futhark, which I can't pronounce. By the way, if I mispronounce anything, just let me know in a nice way and I'll correct it. So Elder Futhark, okay. So the first one we've got is this one, which I've drawn wonky, which is Fehu. And we've got this one, which is Uruz. Again, I may be butchering pronunciations. I'm just going by how they're spelt. Then you've got Thurisaz, Answers, got Rado, Kenas. Sorry if you can't see this. Gibo or Gebo, Wunju or Wunjo, sorry. Then we've got that one, which is Hagalaz, I believe you pronounce it. Hagalaz. So it's the first few. Then you also have Orthes, Isa, Jara, Ewas. Sorry, someone was at my door. So I've got Ewas, Pertho. Oop, let's draw it right. Algis, Sawulo. Oops. Tewas, Burkana or Burkana, Ewas, Manus, Legus, Ingus, Arthila, Daggers, and some have a blank rune in. In my set of runes, I've got a blank one. It's just one of the stones doesn't have a carving on it, and the blank one is not in every rune set. Let's see if I can put this. That's better. So that's the Elder Futhark, and what happens is people combine them together to obviously create bind runes for different purposes. But first of all, you kind of need to know the meanings of these. So Fehu can mean cattle or wealth. So you don't have to combine the runes really. I mean, if you wanted wealth, you could just put Fehu on a little charm. Uruz is strength. You have to excuse me handwriting, it's never been brilliant. Thurisaz is protection. Answers is wisdom. So I've got wisdom, journey, luck, marriage, joy, disruption, constraint, stand still. Oops. Success, safety, future, friendship, self, victory, love, trust, and got this one's female, healing, fertility, prosperity, home, and the blank one is destiny. Okay, so there is the Elder Futhark, the names of the Elder Futhark and the approximate meanings. And what happens is when people use bind runes, they combine a couple of these together. So if you wanted, for example, the bind rune, so bind runes. So the bind rune for good luck is this one. And as you can see straight away, it's a combination of, obviously tilted on its side, Fehu, which is wealth, and also Gebo or Gebo, which is that one, which is marriage. If I've got that right, either that or it's constraint. I'd say it's Fehu and Gebo combined together to make this one, which is good luck. Now, I don't know 100% why you would choose Gebo for marriage and combine that with wealth and then get good luck. I suppose marriage is like bringing things together, and then obviously wealth is what you want to bring together with you, I suppose. So obviously I don't know tons about runes yet. This is what I'm learning, but obviously I'm just letting you know what I know so far. So you got the good luck bind rune, and then the one for protection is this one. That's protection. And from what I can tell, that's a combination of Algiz and Othala. So obviously Algiz would be that one. And then Othala is that one. Which is combining. Algiz is friendship, and Othala is, looking at my list, prosperity. So friendship and prosperity added together to make the protection one. And another one is health, which is this one. This is the bind rune for health. And from what I can tell, I think it's a combination of Legus, Thurisaz, and probably Wunjo, but just turned around. That's what I think that's a combination of. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know. So anyway, so you can see what they've done is, what people do is combine two runes together to make a bind rune. Now, bind runes are not common in like Anglo-Saxon times. You do see bind runes from some Anglo-Saxon artifacts, but it's not a common practice. It's more common sort of medieval times that you see bind runes put together for different meanings. So what you can do is, if you want a particular talisman or charm, you could use either the individual rune itself. So if I put runes and bind runes, And these, you can use these to make charms, you can use them to make necklaces, carve them into candles, that sort of thing. So you can either use the rune itself, so if you wanted wealth, you could do Fehu. If you wanted strength, you could do Uruz. So this would be wealth, strength, so that's Fehu and Uruz. You could have just Kenaz on its own for luck. Yeah, so you could have those. You could just put those on a little charm or something like that. If you wanted love, you could do Berkana or Berkana. If you know somewhere where I can find out how to pronounce all of these spot on, let me know. Which is love. Healing, you could just have Legus. So Legus. Like that. So you could just use those if you wanted and just have what I would do is either make a necklace, and say you got a necklace and you've made a little clay charm to go on it, and then you could have your chosen rune symbol on your necklace, which I will do a video making some little charms and things, but I'll show you what I've used bind runes for in a bit. Bind runes wise, you've got like good luck. So good luck. There's protection. I mean, if you Google it, you can find loads of bind runes. These are just the ones I know of. Prosperity one is this one. So prosperity. Also health. You could just have strength as well. Okay, so you could either use the individual runes or you can use the bind runes. And what you do is you take your object, it could be a little clay charm you've made for a necklace, and put the rune symbol in. It could be a little token of some kind that you'd write the symbol on. It could be a piece of paper that you put in your purse or something. And another way you can use bind runes is on a candle. So this is the candle that I have on my altar space, and carved into the back of it are these two bind runes. This one is for home protection and this one's for health. That tends to be the two main things that I want to use bind runes for, is for protecting the home and for health for the family. And the way this works is I've carved that into the candle, and then I went over it in black paint. Actually, I just used rubbed black acrylic paint into it. You can also like rub charcoal into things that you carve in your candles to make it stand out, like I did here. It's a bit more messy though. I wanted something quite neat though, so I just used paint here, and literally just very thin brush, and I went over where I've carved. And to carve into the candle, I just used a little clay tool similar to this, and just used that to carve what I wanted into my candle. And the idea being that as the candle burns, these bind runes will start to work and will protect the home and promote health in the family. So that's the idea for having them in my candles. Well, on the back of my candle. And then I've got another candle where, like the one I just showed you, where I've just carved words in it, because that's my positivity candle. But you could just do runes all over your candle if you wanted. You don't have to do words, and you don't have to do runes either. It's just, I quite like using these. I kind of like the fact that, like, they're nice and simple, they're straightforward, they're dead easy to carve into a candle. They're a lot easier than trying to carve words into a candle. And like I said, I mean, if I made like a little clay, I could make a little clay charm, like this. So what I would do, this would be to wear on a little cord around my neck, or maybe to wear on a bracelet or something if I made it small enough. But this one I'm just going to make to wear as like a necklace. And all you do is you flatten it out like so. So I want this one to be for protection. So I just carve into it the symbol. And because it's clay, it's quite easy to pop the shape in. Like so. Just rub out any mistakes or I've overlapped. Okay. And then, ignore my plaster on my hand, by the way, I had blood tests. And then what I would do is pop a hole in the top. I need a different tool. Just a small hole will do. Just don't do the hole too close to the top, because obviously it makes it more prone to breakage. And then what I'm going to do with this one is I will bake it in the oven and then put a cord on it, and I could wear that around my neck, or I could have it on my key ring or something. It is eventually obviously going to break because it is clay. I mean, when these are baked, it's fairly hard, this clay, when it's baked, this Super Sculpey. And I would recommend using something like Super Sculpey. I wouldn't recommend using air drying clay. Air drying clay is far too delicate. And also you can make them smaller as well. You don't have to do them that big. So if you think, oh, I just want a little charm, but I want it small. What you could also do as well is add these charms to like a little, if you're making like a little, I don't know, prosperity pouch, a sleepwell pouch, you know, a pouch full of like herbs and ingredients for a specific purpose, you could actually put one of these little rune charms onto the pouch to reinforce the purpose of the pouch. So for like this one, I'm going to put, in fact, I'll put the hole in first so I can judge where to put the rune a bit better. And then I'm going to put health on this one. And this one would be a charm I'd probably give either to myself or someone who has not been feeling very well. Obviously, the smaller you go, the more careful you've got to be. And the more fiddly it will be to carve the symbol in, but as you can see, it's doable. And you don't have to buy expensive clay tools or anything either. So as you can see, you can make a big one if you wanted, or you can make a little one. I'd say this size more for if you're making a necklace with a particular bind rune on it, or a little one if you want to make a little charm. So say I got this bag. I tend to use these for pouches. So say I got this bag and I've put inside there all my herbs and things for whatever purpose this bag has, and then I would fasten this on to the bag. I'd just probably sew it on, or put it on a piece of cord and tie it around the top, and then it just adds that little bit extra to the pouch or whatever you're making. And obviously, like I've showed on the list, you can use bind runes for good luck, for protection, for prosperity, for health, for strength, and for home protection. Or you could use the individual rune itself and make little charms like this. And you could use just the individual rune if you wanted. And if you want to know other bind runes, the best thing to do is go on Google and also research about runes, obviously. Sorry, things have fallen off my shelf. There's a YouTuber I follow who talks about the individual runes and obviously has all the pronunciations and everything. Oh, I can't think what his name is. I'll put a link in the description box below to another YouTuber that talks about runes and all that, the sort of Nordic and that side of things, all the spirituality, and talks about the gods and all the information about it. And if I can find one that talks about rune, like all the runes specifically or something, I'll try and put some links in the description if I can. But yeah, so this is how to make little bind rune charms and a little bit about runes and bind runes. And then one fact that everyone always tells everybody about runes is the symbol for the Bluetooth logo, which for some reason I didn't write the whole symbol down. But basically for the Bluetooth symbol, it's this one combined with that one, and it's Hagal and Birkener, and the letters of each of these words starts, like the first letter of each of these words for the runes is H and B. So basically this represents H and this represents B, which is for Harold Bluetooth. So that's where they get the Bluetooth symbol from, and it's like that in it. So in case you wonder where they got the Bluetooth logo from, now you know. And Harold Bluetooth was a Danish king, and that's where they got the idea for this symbol for Bluetooth. Hagal and Birkenan put together to make HB, which is Harold Bluetooth. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Blessed be. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.